Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the LG podcast. I almost said TMG podcast. We are not the TMG podcast. But welcome back. Look at us. We are trying to record one a week. Let's get a little clap for that.
Yeah. Wait.
There we go. So, me and Brandon actually have a lot of movies to talk about. I saw three movies this weekend. And I think you also saw
three movies.
Three movies.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. We have a lot to
Yeah.
talk about. But I just want to say thank you so much for the support on last week's episode. I think it did really well. It got like at least like on the last episode we did like our return. It got like 10 plays, and then the one we did last week got about 11 plays, and on YouTube it also got about 10 plays. So pretty good for us coming back. Thank you guys so much for support. But yeah.
Hopefully, with this episode being consistently timed, maybe it'll be even bigger this time.
Yeah, hopefully if we can get it down a little bit,
Yeah.
it'll do a little bit better. So just want to say thank you guys for the support. But yeah, let's get into it. I think we're going to talk about Lighthouse pretty heavily. And then I'm going to talk about Parasite, no spoilers though. And then Brandon's going to talk about Motherless Brooklyn and Terminator, right? Is there any... Terminator. Yeah, so that's the plan for this episode. So let's get straight into it. Folks! Just kidding. I'm not Curtis. Okay, Lighthouse. Brandon, tell me your initial experiences. So I didn't think Brandon was going to see it, and I was really sad because I was like, oh man, he'd like this movie. But he drove an hour, people. He drove an hour for this movie.
I drove an hour and 7 minutes right after I got out of church this morning just to obtain the grain, folks. You too can see out your dreams if you have a beat-up car that you can drive somewhere.
All you have to do is call the number below, and you can obtain the grain, dog.
1-800 sailors with schizophrenia.
Willem Dafoe.
Willem the bro.
Okay, do you want to say your first thoughts, or should I go?
I can go first if you want me to.
It's up to you.
I mean, it's just, well, it'll be just, we can go back and forth. I don't care. So A24 always putting out some interesting content. The Lighthouse is, wait, hold on. Let me pull up my IMDb so I don't mess up anybody's
while
names.
You're pulling it up, I already kind of know. I kind of already know what to talk about. So
yeah, get into
when I went to this movie, I literally knew nothing about this movie. I didn't even watch the trailer or anything. I just knew Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson were going to be in it, and I was like, I like these actors. I want to see them in something. And I was like, I want to see it.
Yep.
And well, like one other thing was I wanted to see Robert Pattinson because he's going to be the new Batman, and I was like,
right.
I mean, I was already sold on him. But, like, I was like, I want to see how he does in, like, a current movie, you know? Like, I wanted to see, like, how he was doing. Like, and I definitely, after this, like, I want to see more, like, Robert Pattinson movies. I know that there is more, but I want to see... Yeah, sorry.
Real quick interjection, just because it's on my mind. Instagram, I believe he posted, or somebody posted today that Robert Pattinson was in some kind of martial arts training or something, getting ready for Batman.
Heck yeah.
So, cool.
Awesome.
That's what he's doing next, I believe. So, yeah. Anyway, continue.
But, like, I had no preconceived, like, notions about this movie. I didn't particularly know what I was getting myself into with it. So, like my initial thoughts after the movie, I was like, what did I just watch? What did I just pay money for? And I was really confused. But, like, one thing I do have to say, like, I'll say it now, but, like, one thing you gotta, like, I watched, like, an ending explained, because this movie is very confusing, and you will be like, what is going on? Definitely. So, like, one of the things said like you got to remember like the core of the movie is two guys losing their mind. That's basically what the movie is. And like if you don't like when you think about it that way, you're like, "Oh, yeah, this movie is awesome." So, excuse me, sorry. But
Holy
like my initial
crap,
thoughts
dude.
are just like, you know, it was great. Great acting, cinematography was beautiful, sound design.
Oh
I
my god.
I this is probably the best sound design I've
Epic.
it's epic gamer moment. It's
Epic
fantastic.
gamer moment.
And like, like once you like understand the story, like it makes sense and like it's more it's definitely very open to interpretation. Like a lot of interpretation.
Right.
So, I mean that's my initial thoughts. So,
So, yeah, real quick, before I throw out my 2 cents, I was checking out IMDb stuff about it, and if you go to the synopsis on IMDb, it tells you in detail the entire movie.
what?
Yeah, it's like, I think it's like 4 or so pages long, and it goes, like, it's in detail, like, everything.
Really?
So don't go out to IMDb for people that haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, no.
Uh,
Literally, if you're thinking about seeing this movie, go watch the trailer. It's awesome. I watched it and it was really
right.
good.
Yeah. So, uh, okay. So we're getting into spoilers, though. So if you are listening and you want to see the Lighthouse, we have the
Spoilers.
opportunity. We're getting into mucho grande spoilers. Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. It's a good movie. Go see it if you care. If you don't, then why are you listening to this podcast?
Yeah, get off this podcast, dog. I'm just kidding.
So here we go. Robert Eggers, I believe is how you say his name. He's the director of this movie. He also made The Witch, which came
Yeah.
out in 2015, another good horror movie. This isn't I wouldn't well, I don't know. Some parts of this are
It
very
has some
horror and
horror
then some of it's
elements.
very like almost
Comedic.
comedy
Yeah.
sort of edge. I'd call it like a how do you mix those two words together? How would that
I would
sound?
say like a thriller. I'd say it's more of a thriller.
A
But like
dramedy.
a dramedy. It's very suspenseful. I
Right.
just don't know the word for it because as if you listen to the podcast, I'm not a fan of scary movies. And during
Right.
the showing, there was like points where I was literally like, I was covering my eyes because there's some kind of scary stuff. And like, I'm sorry to step on your toes or whatever, Brandon. I know you're talking,
Oh no,
but
you're good. It's just a discussion. It's whatever.
but like the sound design plays in that so heavily, and it's
hmm
just so good. I'm just
Right,
thinking
right,
about
right.
it, and it's so good. Okay, I'm sorry. Continue, Brandon.
So here's my I was like actually thinking about how I would say this in the car, but I guarantee I'll still mess it up because I'm an idiot when the podcast starts. But so I would say my favorite thing about the movie, like you said with the sound design, is just like I feel like it was so a reason why I brought up the director's name, who is Robert Eggers. I feel like this is just such like master class level direction. Like there's only like a
Sure.
handful of directors I can think that like can really just completely control the screen when they have a camera, and I feel like he does such a crazy job of like building up this it's like I said before we started, I said it was like a sailor's fever dream nightmare. It's
Yeah.
almost it's like they perfectly took like a scary sailor folk story and made a horror movie out of it. And I think it's just like the atmosphere and the tone of how they do it with the black and white and just the I don't know, just the way the shots are composed and the sound design and everything
They're
about it technically is so masterfully done that
Oh
like
yeah.
when we get to the acting and like the the meat and potatoes of the movie, you're already there's not even any words said, and you're already set up for like what the tone of the movie is without them having to say anything. So I thought that was just really awesome.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
yeah, and then obviously you got two stellar performances from Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson.
Oh,
so yeah, I think it'd be awesome to see both of them get some nominations. I guess I was checking on here on IMDb again because this is going to be the podcast friend for now on, so I don't sound like a big dumb person when I'm giving facts. I guess he has already won some like directing awards and stuff at some different award shows,
Nice.
so it's already got some traction behind it. But yeah,
yeah.
So yeah, that's my
yeah.
that's my like professional review. But should we get into like the theories and stuff?
Yeah, let's get into. So like that was kind of like a service level. So this is spoilers now. This
is your last chance.
Your last chance.
What would Willem Dafoe say right now?
He would say, "You don't like my cooking? Let me curse you.
You don't like my Poseidon shall drive his trident through your whatever he said." That was wild.
Fine,
dude.
I like your cooking.
Everybody in the theater laughed when Robert Pattinson said that. He's like, "Okay, have it your way. I like your cooking."
One thing I do want to say about this movie is it's crazy how like it has like kind of like elements of like all genres. Like I guess not all genres, but like it just like slips and slides in different genres so easily.
Right.
Where like this movie is fantastic, but I watched this in Chris Stuckman's video, his review.
Love
and he
Chris
was like, can you tell me the director's name again? I'm sorry.
Robert Eggers.
Yeah, Robert Eggers. He was like, he's not like above a fart joke because there's a lot of freaking fart jokes.
Oh
in this
my
movie.
gosh,
and
dude!
It's funny. Like most fart jokes, I don't laugh at, but like in this movie, I was laughing. I was laughing, dude. It was so funny.
The part at the end when the house is all destroyed and Robert Pattinson's yelling at Willem Dafoe and he's like, "And you're effing farts, you're farts," and he just starts pounding the wall. I was like, "Oh my gosh, dude, this is ridiculous! What is happening right now?" Like he was literally screaming at him about the way his farts smelled. I'm sorry for the listeners of the podcast. It went from like super intellectual talk of sound design and directing, and now we're just we made a fart joke.
Ooh, fart joke.
But that perfectly describes this movie.
But that brought like that kind of like released the tension, like because this movie like literally it did.
Literally, just like a fart releases the tension.
But like, it's just like this movie is so suspenseful at times. Like I was tense in this movie.
Oh yeah.
But like fun things like like the part where Willem Dafoe is like literally cursing Robert Pattinson. He's just like, "Well, I guess I like your cooking now." He's like, "Fine, have it your way. I like your cooking. Sorry." It was just really funny.
For the sake of the podcast, I mean, I won't say what the actual joke was, just because it's, like, got some swear words in it. We're trying to keep this safe for work. But when Robert Pattinson brings up, I don't know if it's in that same scene or it's later, but when he brings up the steak and he talks about how much he wants the steak, that part was so funny, dude. It was so ridiculously funny.
It's like, I just want a raw steak, dude.
I could just have a steak. All I want is a steak.
And Willem Dafoe's like,
so good.
"You don't like my cooking?" It's like, "No, I don't.
I thought you liked my lobster."
You like my lobster? Say it. Say it. You like my lobster? Say it.
Say it. Oh my goodness.
Say it.
What was I gonna say? Oh, so shoot. Spoiler talks. Theories. Yeah. So, my theory walking out of that without having watched videos yet, which I'll probably do when I like go to bed tonight or something. But
Yeah.
I think. Oh,
Hello?
one moment.
Okay. So I'll kind of say mine. So mine. So as I said before, this movie is very confusing, and the ending
Hello.
is not. Hello. You should
Sorry,
talk because
I'm
I
so
don't know what
sorry.
I'm saying.
Little minor technical difficulty there. What were you saying? Were you saying stuff? I don't want to interrupt you.
I was just kind of saying stuff. You should go first.
Oh,
I think you
okay.
have better theories than so.
So my theory, without hearing other people's opinions other than like Jackson and us talking before it started, was that I kind of believe that Robert Pattinson's character is like he's really there. He's the actual main character, and Willem Dafoe is like his it's kind of an illusion of himself. So like I think that Robert Pattinson kind of I can't remember how I worded it before we started. He
like an illusion of his older self, right?
yeah, like a illusion of his older self if he were to stay at the Lighthouse and work there for the rest of his life instead of moving around in jobs like he had or he said that he had been. And so yeah, I think that there's certain scenes that kind of like confirm or at least support that theory. Like the scene where he goes up on the railing of the lighthouse and you see the guy laying on the ground that's dressed like Willem Dafoe, and then he turns him over and it's him. I believe that's kind of like insinuating that, that's what it is. And then out of nowhere you get naked booty Willem Dafoe, which is I was not prepared for all that, but we'll move past that.
And another like thing that like supports that theory is when Robert Pattinson's trying to get off the island, and then Willem Dafoe destroys the boat with the axe, and then Willem Dafoe is like, "You came at me with an axe and destroyed the boat," and like Robert Pattinson believes him. So like that could mean that they're one and the same, you know?
Right, I didn't think about that. Another
I
one.
thought that was really particular that that was like the only like time where Willem Dafoe did something, but said that Robert Pattinson did it. So
right.
I don't know.
Another thing that I thought about just now when when the flood or whatever happens and goes through the house and destroys everything. The scene where Pattinson, I think he like throws up or something, and then that book comes floating
and he finds
by.
the book.
Right, that book, that log book, isn't that just like Willem Dafoe logging everything they do every day or whatever? Yeah. Right? So I thought that was like showing him that it was just him writing about himself. You get what I'm saying? They never really addressed that, but that's kind of what I picked up because they don't really show the book either.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They don't show the book, which as an audience member was kind of frustrating because I was like, I want to know what's in the book.
Right.
But I guess that's also open to interpretation. Is like, did he see that it was bad, or was it just logs? Like, like the thing about
like
this movie
logs,
is
like logs in the water. That was a scary scene.
That was so scary. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, I did not understand. I didn't even know what he's looking at. I thought they were like big chunky mermaids or something.
At first I thought it was like the boat that took him there, that it was like in shambles. And I was like, what?
Right.
But it wasn't that, I don't think. But I was like, I was real spooked, dude. I was like, I was covering the eyes and I was just like.
Right.
I was like, I like my sleep, so
You know what? Real quick, because it's on my mind. The and obviously we're in spoiler mode, so the like right before the final shot of the movie, when he finally gets the keys from Willem Dafoe,
and he's
and
looking at the.
I know I keep getting sidetracked.
No,
Also,
you're fine.
another point that totally alludes to them being the same person is they have the same name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's the
I
biggest piece of evidence.
right. I totally almost forgot to say that, but yeah, they're both named Thomas, right?
Yeah,
I believe it was Thomas.
yeah, they're both Thomas, but Willem Dafoe said he goes by Tom, and
Mm-hmm.
then Pattinson said he went by Tommy, I believe.
Hmm.
I can't. I know that Dafoe went by Tom, but I do think that I don't know. I don't know if that's just like a distinction between like I don't know.
Tommy, him, Pattinson's nickname being Tommy and Defoe's being Tom is kind of funny because like Tommy, I would see more being like the younger version of someone named Thomas, and then
Yeah,
Tom being like the older version. So
Dafoe.
it's kind of funny. But the final, like right before the final shot with the him on the rocks or whatever, um, when he goes up into the lighthouse and he like finally sees into the light, where he like the picture or like the shot kind of starts to like distort and color a little bit, and his like as he's screaming it starts to distort.
Yeah.
Dude, that was intense.
Yeah, I covered my eyes
Like
during that part too.
I thought that was so cool. Like that's one of the coolest shots I've seen in like
It
a
was
long
cool,
time.
and again, the sound design in that part was
Yeah.
amazing. It kept
Yes.
getting louder, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, stop, dude!
It's gonna blow
Stop!"
up. And then he totally
Boom.
biffs it and frickin'
He
rolls down the
just
steps like a big boulder in an Indiana Jones movie.
okay. So this is so random, but you know when he's burying Willem Dafoe, what?
Right.
Why? So like, okay, so I do have a theory about this, but like, why do you think he like makes him like into a dog?
Because throughout the whole movie, Defoe was talking down to him and treating him as
Yeah.
if he were a dog instead of a human. And they even go as far to he calls him a sea dog at one point, I
Hmm.
think, which is like a sailory kind of term for some like a nickname. So he like when he snaps and he like goes into his rage. Oh, I have another thing to say after that, but when he goes into his little fit or whatever, he's like, "Oh, you're the dog now." But
Yeah, dude, when like he buried him and then Willem Dafoe came out, that was like so scary.
dude, that
I
freaked
I
me
almost
out.
peed my pants. I was so scared, dude.
Totally caught me off guard. It was you know what? That's how jump scares should be done, though. You know what I mean? Because like
Yeah, it
it's not
shouldn't be like
necessarily a jump scare, but like
yeah.
it's set up like it's like a I don't know what you would call it. Just maybe just a scare, like a proper
Well,
scare.
like it's just like so unexpected.
Right.
Like yeah, like it's not like a classic jump scare where it's like boo, like oh you scared me.
Right.
But like it was just like so unexpected, like it was
Right.
crazy.
So
And like
one more thing. Oh,
no, you're
I
good.
interrupted.
Go.
No, you're good. No, I insist. You go.
No, go. I said
No,
good.
I insist. It's
Okay.
bad luck to not go first, Jackson.
It's bad luck to not do a toast, dog. So
Um,
okay, so another thing. Do you think the whole thing was what do you think the whole thing was real? Or do you think there was a point where it was real, but then he went crazy?
I feel like we've been running into this topic a lot with movies this year,
Yeah.
aka the Joker.
Been
But
seen a lot of freaking artsy movies, dude.
this perfectly segues into my like final point about the conspiracy theory about it.
Transition.
So, um, I believe, like, because it's really like a isolation uh, makes a person go insane type of horror movie, kind of like in the same vein as like The Shining almost. Um, it I thought that Pattinson seemed to. It's like he almost showed characteristics of being like a bipolar schizophrenic.
Mhm.
Respectfully saying that, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but just his like attitude in the movie, he would kind of snap off in different. He'd go from being very calm and certain, like in there. Well, um, like some days because the movie goes through quite a few days. They never really address how
Or
long it
months,
goes, but or whatever.
or hours.
Um, some days in some conversations with Dafoe, he's super like
Soft
timid and
spoken.
kind of soft spoken and to himself, and then sometimes he's like super funny and super like hyped up and really into whatever they're doing, and then at the end obviously he starts to rage out, and it also has things to do with like obsession and stuff with the light and all that too,
Hmm.
um but then the schizophrenic part is I feel like because of the isolation of being there so long with, you know, technically himself. Like he's by himself for so long that he starts to imagine these different things, like the mermaid and
And like
uh,
Willem Dafoe being like a sea king, like an
Willem Dafoe
octopus.
turning into Poseidon for whatever reason for like a split second,
Yeah.
and then the guy that he killed in the lumber accident, or was it a lumber accident? I can't remember exactly, but
Yeah.
the guy that
It was
he
it was
sees,
it was an quote unquote accident. Was it an
right?
accident? I don't think so.
Right. So, like, multiple signs point to him being, seeing things and stuff like that that aren't there.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So, over the progression of the film, he starts his shifts in attitude and his sort of psyche keeps slowly and slowly breaking down. And he's more quick with Defoe. And then, like, they get into
Hmm.
arguments and things more until it completely escalates into what it does at the end. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that was pretty well worded.
No, that was
Didn't
great, dude.
completely butcher it like I did with the Joker, where I
You're like,
rambled on for
yes.
like,
Like,
yes,
oh
dude.
yeah.
What's that
I
one
got it.
TikTok
1 out of 3, dude.
where he's like, yeah, college rocks, dude. Ah.
Welcome to
And then
school,
the dude
dude.
comes in, oh
Oh
no.
no. Dude, yes.
Dude,
First day of
yes.
school. Welcome to college. Oh no, dude.
Oh man.
Okay.
But
So
yeah, so
I just had a theory.
go
So
for it, man.
so you know when he falls when he's painting the lighthouse,
Yeah.
what if that's him at the end of the movie? So that's when stuff starts getting weird and fake. Like that's him at the end. He just is there. He's dead.
Whoa.
Boom, dude.
Dude,
It makes sense because that he was pretty
you
he was
just
pretty
cracked
high up.
you just cracked the Da Vinci Code, dude.
Dude, I figured out the movie. I'm directing the next Lighthouse. It's official. Lighthouse 2 confirmed 2023.
Gonna have all your favorite uh psychopathic lighthouse men.
Yep. Anyway, no, that was
That's a
just,
good that's a pretty good theory though.
but like I don't know how much weight that has to that. But cuz like he fell pretty high, but it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
too high. But like I do think that like at the beginning like stuff was rooted in reality.
Oh yeah.
Then like when he started drinking, I think is when he went off the rockers. Because you
Right.
see him, like, as the movie goes on, you see him, like, kind of relying on the alcohol more and more. Like, even when he's working, he's drinking.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And, like, at the end, they're literally drinking, like, gasoline. Like,
Right.
so
It shows different signs of like obsession with things too, like
yeah.
because they come like so dependent on the alcohol and stuff, and then so
And, like,
dependent on the
in
lighthouse.
their rations when the storm comes is alcohol. Like, they
It's
don't
just
have, like,
alcohol.
it's
Yeah.
just alcohol. That's their rations. And,
Hmm.
like, obviously, like, the drunk scenes are really fun with them because it that's kind of where, like, it kind of gets a little lighter because, like, like, they're having
Right.
fun, they're doing their thing.
Some of those scenes are fun, but I
Yeah, no,
believe
no, no.
also that there's a couple where they're like having the like when they're doing the dance thing, you can see that
Yeah.
Pattinson's character is just like gone, dude. Like mentally he's tapped out.
And that one part, it's in the trailer too, like when they're just like chugging it, like that's
Oh
also kind
yeah.
of like spooky too because they're just like and they're just drinking the alcohol and it's just like spooky
Dude,
almost.
how about the part when Pattinson puts the frickin' hammer down on that seagull? Like
Dude,
he
dude,
was not
I was
playing
like,
around with
I
that
saw
bird,
that part and I was
dude.
like, okay, he can be Batman. He can be Batman.
Yeah,
I was
dude.
like, I
Oh my
see you.
gosh.
And, like,
The
when
pet
he was like, dude, I'm like, I'm not trying to say anything, but, like, when he was like I don't know if I should say this, but, like, when he was like shirtless, like, he has the physique. I think he has a physique. I mean, I think
I
when
think
he, like,
you
going, you know,
I think he does look like a younger Batman. Like
yeah,
I totally
what,
picture him as like the younger Batman.
what I'm trying to say is he looks good, and I think he's gonna
Right.
do
No.
great in the in the
Wait,
in
hold up.
Batman.
Hold up. Just gotta just pump the brakes a little bit.
Okay.
You got a little bit of a Batman crush, my guy?
No, okay, I'm not trying to say that. I'm not
I
trying to,
think you
like,
might.
say anything to anybody. I'm
Hey,
just saying he looks good.
it's bad luck to not have the Batman crush. The sailor's way.
I'm just excited to see him as Batman, okay? Okay? I'm just saying he has the
I
look.
think you got a I think you might have a little bit of a Batman crush, my guy.
That's why I was afraid to say this. And I didn't want to say anything, like, weird or, like, that
I get what you mean.
suggested
I'm just messing
something
around.
or
No, he totally looks like a younger Batman. Like I could
and I
totally
think,
see
like,
him
yeah,
as the yeah.
that's all I was trying to say. So
Right.
don't clip anything,
I
okay?
really I really like the it just reminded me of like the gritty, smoky um just sort of look of the whole movie. Like it was really
Yeah.
cool to see him like with the big bushy mustache and stuff.
Yeah.
Like all that kind of all the little things like that really added up and made it a whole nother thing and made it look super cool. So those scenes when he's like chugging the coal and stuff, I was like, that looks like a Batman thing, even
Yeah,
though that doesn't make sense. Like
it
that
doesn't
seems
make
like a
sense, but,
Batman
like,
kind of yeah.
I mean, but yeah, that's all I was trying to say. Like, I'm excited
Right.
for Batman. I cannot wait for the next Batman. I'm really excited about
Right.
that. This movie was good. So, okay, so kind of one more thing before we kind of wrap up. Do
Right.
you think that the seagulls were important at all? Or
I think
I
that
do.
the seagulls were just kind of I think this is the right word. I think they were kind of just like a catalyst for what is to come with the rest of the movie. Like that's like one of the big points of Pattinson's kind of just trying to hang out and get through this so he can go home, and then that happened and he just snaps and he's like, I can't. You know what I mean? Like
When
from
he
that
killed
point,
the
the seagull when he hulks
Yeah,
out on the sea.
well, that's kind
Like,
of
from that point
that's
forward,
kind of
he's
when
like gone.
yeah. Well, I kind of have a different theory. I think that the seagulls were trying to tell him something because at first like the seagull was blocking him from like doing his job, and like
Right.
he was trying. They were I don't know. I feel like maybe it was kind of like his like I do think they're significant in some way. I just don't know what it is because we see them so much, and
Mm-hmm.
they're at the end shot too. So like I I think that he was trying to tell him something or like protect him or
Mm-hmm.
and like another thing with this movie is we never find out what happened to the other like stewards. They were just dead.
Right.
I thought Willem Dafoe killed them, but
Maybe they were like, maybe the seagulls are like, because he says that the seagulls are
that's
the
what I was
souls of past
thinking.
sailors. Maybe the seagulls are like all the different seagulls are the people that Willem Dafoe has killed or whatever. Or
See,
maybe
that's
they're
what I was
just
kind of
like,
thinking.
maybe they're just the other pairs of people that came before them that went through the same situation or something.
Yeah, because like I wasn't worried about the like other people because I had a theory near the end when like Robert Pattinson. I already told Brandon this, but when he got in there, I thought it was just gonna be like a
Mm-hmm.
big loop. So like
Mm-hmm.
all the stewards like they died just because the other person killed them and then they took their place. And then like
Right.
it's just like a big cycle. But that didn't turn out to be, so I think
Right.
that would have been kind of cool, but you know, the ending we got was still kind of it's artsy.
You know,
Open to interpretation.
I don't I don't really understand the ending, the very very end.
Yeah, I
Like it's visually is very like hits
it's
you, like
gross.
punches you right in the face at the very end. And I think it was like a cool, really eerie way to kind of wrap up that whole, sort of fever dream kind of story. But
Mhm.
I don't really I don't really get what the significance was, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I
Other than
guess
just
maybe
him
the
getting killed.
significance. Well, like some of the videos I watched, it was saying that like it's kind of on like mythology. So like when
Mm.
who do you know who stole the fire in like mythology? Was it? It's not
Uh,
Prometheus. It's not Prometheus.
I
Dang it, I
don't
can't
know.
remember it. Well, I'm sorry, I can't remember it. But like it's kind of based on like that, like stealing the fire from the gods, and like that's kind of like Robert Pattinson. And then like in that mythology, like the birds are eating him alive, and like
Right.
he. So I guess that's kind of like the symbolism it shows. But I also kind of think it shows that not all of it was real because he like was dead in like a different place than he ended up in, you know?
Right. That's
So
what
like
caught me off
so
guard.
like the thing is
But
he could have never made it to the lighthouse.
hmm
We don't know. He could have just been sitting there like I don't know. So like I
right.
think that was kind of
Well,
like what they were trying to convey that like not all of this was real. But I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know if
I
you have
was
any answer.
gonna say the what I put together in my head as I was watching that, the reason why he made it there, or like he was like laying with the birds or whatever. There was a lot of really like out of the blue jump cuts in the movie where he's like
Yeah.
kind of just doing one thing and then he's like in a completely different spot doing something else. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what how he would have got to that spot and ended up like he did, but I kind of just saw that as another like crazy jump cut.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, I could see that.
so yeah,
But yeah.
lots of stuff going on in that, but
Yeah.
I don't personally like giving like grades on movies, like a or a
Like
number,
Chris.
like Chris.
He
Just
gave
yeah,
us a
that's where
movie
I
an A
got it
plus, by
from,
the way.
which is the first time he's given an A plus in like 2 years.
Yeah, he said this
So
was his most anticipated movie of 2019. He says it's favorite too.
Yeah. So I would just say definitely give it a try. If you're not into artsy, if you're not into A24 movies, then you probably won't like it.
You'll be like, why did I see this movie?
If you're an avid moviegoer,
there are some fanboy moments, if you know what I mean.
There are some very epic gamer moments in this movie. Some wild stuff going on in some parts.
So don't take your kids.
Don't take your kids,
okay?
Don't
Just
take
like
your
Joker.
grandma. Don't take your mom. But maybe take the boys.
I think if I would have saw it with Brandon, I think it would have been a good time. Not gonna lie. But.
It would have been, yeah. It would have been super. I feel like I would have been making more jokes, but there were some just wild parts. Oh, real funny. Now that I know the significance of it, you know the soap mermaid thing. I'm not gonna say what he has that for, but you know what I'm talking about.
So okay, so there is a lot of talk. Sorry. So like when he goes to the thing, it kind of seems like he knows exactly where that mermaid thing is. Does it? Am I? Didn't it seem like he knew where it was? When he gets it out of the mattress? It seemed like he knew where it was.
I didn't think that. I just thought he saw a hole in the pillow or whatever and just kind of...
I don't know. Maybe it was probably just his like very intense gaze, you know? His like super intense gaze he always has.
Mm-hmm.
It just seemed like, yep, I know exactly what this is.
Get this. So on A24's Instagram, which there's a link that goes to their website, you can buy for I think it's like $40. You get this little box. And it comes with beard oil to like, make your beard softer or whatever. And it comes with that mermaid as a bar of soap that you can have for your house.
Big yikes, dude.
Dude, Merry
Don't
Christmas
take that in the
advance.
shower, dude.
Dude, he was not using that to get clean. Let's say that. There was a much different purpose. We got to move on from this before we say the not safe for work joke.
Don't clip that.
If I had a whistle, there's a flag on the field.
You have violated the law.
On the field that plays in review. So yeah, if you're an avid moviegoer and you're willing to watch something that's gonna like make you think a lot and is a little wild and crazy, it's got a lot of great stuff going on. Should definitely check it out. I have my rating system on my like board in my room that I sent the picture of to you. I just do the ratings as a minus or a plus. So it's like, if I like it and I think it was like good in any bit of a way, it's just a plus, and if I didn't, it's a minus. Because I'd rather. That's why I really enjoy the podcast, because I'd rather just sit and talk about, you know what I mean, instead of like, oh, here's a definitive score.
Yeah,
I'd rather be like, this is why it's good. Now you should go.
I'm not a big fan of rating systems because like movies are so subjective. Like,
right?
Did I say that right? Subjective.
Right. Yeah. Subjective.
Yeah. So like, it's just like when I watch something, it's like, oh, like this is an A. I could be like, this movie sucks.
Right.
So like, especially with this movie, people will go see this and say this sucks.
Yeah. I was going to. My mom had the day off work today, and I thought for just a moment, I was like, maybe I'll go take my mom to see this. But then I remembered, for the people who know the movie I'm talking about, I took my parents, without knowing really what the plot was, to see Midsummer this past summer. I took both of them to see Midsummer because I thought it was just going to be like a creepy kind of just cult horror movie, which it is. But if you know the scenes that I'm referring to right now,
Yeah, you told me.
yeah, don't take your parents
Don't take your
at 10
parents.
at 10 o'clock at night at an AMC with no one else in the theater to see Midsummer.
Yeah, I also
They'll
saw this
forever
movie at 10
they
o'clock at night.
there was consideration of disowning me as their child after Midsummer. So no, no disrespect to the people that made Midsummer. I thought it was a pretty good movie. I really enjoyed it, but it is very much an A24 wild ride. You know what I mean? You better
A24, baby.
when you're watching an A24 movie, you just gotta kind of strap in and get ready for the ride because it can go any.
Especially movies like this.
Yes.
Like I'm pretty excited for Uncut Gems. Not gonna lie, that's gonna be a great movie.
Yes.
But like that seems more of like an easy moviegoer movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's something I would take my parents to.
Yeah, like that just seems like an action kind of movie, like
suspenseful. Thriller.
Yeah,
right.
But like you know, like with this and some other A24 movie I saw. I think If Beale Street Could Talk was a A24. I think that movie was so good. That movie also had really good sound design. It was definitely a feel good movie. But like you know, like it's still like a movie where like you know like it makes you think, and like you know Lighthouse made you think, and like also even like mid '90s kind of made you think a little bit.
I didn't get to see mid '90s.
You should watch it. You'd like it. It's good.
I want to really bad, but you know, like, I love A24. I love that like that every single movie they put out I like for a different reason. You know what I mean? And all of them are such high quality. Let's just get a round of applause for A24 real quick. Yeah, dude. W after W. Oh, and Lady Bird. If you've never seen Lady Bird, that is legitimately Lady Bird is one of my favorite movies of all time. Like top 3 easily.
For sure, dog.
For sure. If you haven't seen that one, check that one out too. But anyway, so we're kind of pushing on time here, so I'll run through my non-spoiler reviews of the other 2 movies I saw real quick. Yeah. So Terminator Dark Fate is probably, in my opinion, the best. Well, I'd say it's a really awesome Terminator sequel, and I'd say it's probably, if I sat down and watched the Terminators, I'd watch the first one, then Judgment Day, and then this one instead of the ones in between. But I just remembered I'm not going to spoil anything because Jackson hasn't seen it, but there's a very risky choice made within the first like 10 minutes of the movie that changes the entire franchise. It like is ridiculously crazy, and I'm like, I think in the direction they took the rest of the movie in was really good, but I don't know in the long term if they make more of them how it's gonna go. Like when I first watched it, I thought it was crazy, and then I got into the story they were trying to tell with that movie, and I really liked that. But then when I watched Chris Stuckman's review to bring him back up again, he kind of like went in on the decision they made, and it really kind of made me think about it more. And I was like, I don't really know now if I like that. So when you see it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, and it'll like blow your mind. But
you're like, what?
Yeah. So other than that, a lot of awesome performances. Linda Hamilton and Arnold Schwarzenegger both were back for the movie, and they do
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
An amazing job. I'm the famous comedian Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Stick around.
You've been
pushing too many pencils, Bennett. Dude, he's got so many good quotes. I could go on forever.
Yeah, I mean you can.
So and let me see if I can pull it up real quick. The
Motherless Brooklyn. Or are you
um,
not on? Sorry.
no, you're good. I know we're going like super long now.
No, we're good now. We're good.
So it was directed by Tim Miller, and he made Deadpool. So
Oh,
I thought it was it did not feel like Deadpool at all, which I was kind of nervous about that it would be like trying to be too funny. And I mean, it
oh
is funny, but the amount of comedic relief in it's kind of like leveled out, like it doesn't get too ridiculous. But
yeah.
I thought that the two like standout performances in the movie were from Mackenzie Davis as like the new girl Terminator.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not technically a Terminator. They make a point of it in the movie. She's like a new sort of like half human, half robot sort of mix.
Okay.
But she is so cool. Like I really, really enjoyed her in the movie. Like I think I'd like to see her do more stuff. And then the villain, whoever played the villain, I can't find his name in here. Can you hear me still?
Yep.
Okay. I couldn't hear myself in my headphones.
Okay.
I can't find his name. Oh wait, is that him right there? His name is Gabriel Luna, I think is his name. I
Sounds
believe
right.
so. And he played the Rev 9 robot, which is like a new version of the
New
Terminator.
one.
Yeah, so both of them did amazing jobs. I was really the action and like all that kind of stuff in the new one was really well done. I really enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah.
And I'd love to, even though the choices made I'm not sure about, I would really love to
Mm-hmm.
see where they go from here if they continue to make more. But I did hear that it was kind of not doing too well at the box office. So who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But
We'll see.
regardless of what happens, this one was a really good
Awesome.
movie. And I'm glad that it happened. So, yeah. And
Nice.
so, Motherless Brooklyn. I know I'm getting long-winded here, but Edward Norton, who is one of my all-time favorite actors. If you don't know, I'm like obsessed with the movie Fight Club. It's like one of my favorite movies of all time. I own like 4 or 5 copies of it. It's ridiculous. I have it on vinyl. Too much, but he writes, directs, and stars in Motherless Brooklyn.
Really?
It's
That's
yeah,
awesome. I didn't know that.
I believe that it's set in the 1950s, I think, in New York. So I can't quite remember. I believe they said it was the 50s, but it's a very like detective-y, for people listening, if you're familiar with like a Chinatown kind of movie, like very like you know, detective kind of cop
Yeah.
drama. And the big so the plot is that he has to find and this is in the trailer too, so it's not a spoiler, but he has to find out who killed his boss, played by Bruce Willis. And the big thing around the movie though is that Edward Norton's character has Tourette's and OCD, and he's a detective. So it like without like I don't want to spoil any of the moments in the movie because you should see it if you can. It's
Yeah.
just like so. It's just another one like The Lighthouse. It's just so well crafted and like you can just feel, you can just feel when people like love filmmaking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like as you're watching it, you can tell that they're just so devoted to like just they love movies and they love making movies and acting and like it just comes forth through performances and obviously the writing and the directing. It's just so well done. Cinematography, um, the dialogue. It's like and also the thing that one of the things that caught me really I guess profoundly while I was watching it was that the pacing in that movie is like really really good. It might even I'd go as far to say it's
Mm.
probably even like the best pacing I've seen in a movie. It's just like you never really feel And I mean, maybe it's just because I'm into like detective-y kind of movies too. So,
Yeah.
but I've just felt like there was never really a moment where I was like kind of like not focused or like kind of getting bored. You know what I mean? Because there's,
Hmm.
like slow, drabby stuff in some things, like uh, just kind of like fluff moments in movies where they're just trying
Of
to
course,
get
yeah.
to another scene or a set piece or whatever. But throughout the whole movie, like with his performance and the writing and just the way things are crafted, it's just kind of like a seamless, you know, film,
Yeah,
start to
for sure.
finish. Great time. Definitely going to get some Oscar buzz. Really good stuff. I would love to see him in more movies
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
directing and writing more. So, yeah,
It's great.
I would say definitely check out both of those. And that's my time. Thanks. I'll be here all week.
Thanks. I'll be here all week. So I just saw Parasite tonight,
Oh yeah, I'm mucho jealous of you.
and it's it's a fantastic movie. I'm not gonna lie. It is shot beautifully. It's on Sony Digital 4K, and like as soon as the movie started, I was like, "Oh my goodness, this picture is phenomenal." And another interesting thing, I guess, I can't I I might be remembering this wrong, but in the trailer, I think they were speaking English, but it's all in chat. I don't want to
Yeah,
say
I
that.
remember that because she says she's like deadly serious in the trailer or something.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
she just for a
I think
second speaks
it's
in English.
Chinese.
I can look it up real quick.
I can't remember the link. I'm such a dummy. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's
But
okay. Do we speak English, so we do not understand that language. It's totally
yeah.
fine. I'll look it up and see what specific language it is
But
in.
like it's funny because like the main plot line is um there's this one family and they're not very they're like very poor and they're
Hmm.
struggling and you see that from like the oh dang it, I want to talk about the whole movie but like okay
Don't
so
spoil it now. Don't
I
spoil
can't
it now, boy.
spoil it sorry so like so you have the I believe it's the Kim family and they are not wealthy at all they're struggling to make ends meet
Hmm.
and ah, man, dang it! I wish you had seen it because there's something I wanted to talk about.
There's like no
But
screenings over here, dude.
I know that's why I have to
Oh,
come out here.
real quick to interject, it says on IMDb in the details section that the country of origin is from South Korea, where the film was
Oh
made,
yeah,
and the languages
duh.
spoken are Korean and English.
That's I'm such a dummy
Facts.
because they talk about Kim Jong Un in the movie. I'm such a dummy.
You're not dumb, man. It's okay.
but anyway, so the family is struggling to make ends meet, and then the son he has not been to college, but one of his friends is like, I'm tutoring this really rich girl, but I'm going away, and she needs an English tutor. And what's funny is like there's very little English spoken in the movie, but like the big plot line is he's teaching her English. So I don't know, that's just
Hmm.
kind of funny. But
Yeah.
but the thing is he doesn't go to he hasn't been to college, but he's like served in the military like 4 times. So
Oh
like
wow.
he's taken like the test so he like knows English better than anyone. So he was like, I trust you. So then
Hmm.
most of the movie it really touches on like wealth and like what that does to you, which is really cool because the Kim family has assumptions about the wealthy and obviously the wealthy have assumptions on the less fortunate and that really comes back to bite them in the butt even though the motives that the person I'm talking about has they can be justified, but
Yeah.
very little. So, but
I. s-
like,
oh,
but honestly, the movie's really good. It was really funny. I didn't think it was gonna be that funny, But as I was
Yeah.
telling Brandon, like the first kind of about the first half is just kind of like I don't want to say like a heist movie, but it kind of is.
Sure.
So like they're like kind of yeah. I don't want to spoil anything,
Don't
but
spoil
like
anything.
it's kind of like a heist movie as they try and get more money from his family, and it's fun.
Right.
Like they're like getting more money, and they're like, but then like at the like about the middle, there's like this really cool visual part, and if you've seen it, you'll know what I'm talking about. Excuse me, I'm so sorry, but it's like visual, and then it just gets crazy from there, and there's these things that are like, wait, what just happened? And then the last part of the movie is
Don't
insane,
you spoil anything.
but and then like things happen that you're like, I don't know if that should have happened. Like, was he justified? And then there's I don't know. It's just a really interesting movie, and it's a really interesting take on like rich and poor because like there's a certain part where something happens,
Right.
and the rich people are like, I'm paying you extra, like you should be happy.
Right.
And I think that kind of plays into like what happens because it's like they don't care about them at all. They don't ask like, are you okay? Like what's going on? Because something happened that is really devastating, and like it like hurts the Kim family a lot. So
Mm-hmm.
like they ugh, I want to say something so bad. But so their notions like they're like assumptions about rich people are wrong.
Right.
So it's like then what happens feels justified
Can I
in a
throw in
sense.
something real quick?
Yes.
I saw what could be said as a controversial review on Instagram. Somebody said that Parasite is what Joker wishes it could have been.
Hmm.
Would you agree with that statement?
Well, I guess the question is, what does Joker want to be?
Hmm.
Like a
I don't know. I did
comment on
not write the review.
society? Is that what it is?
Like, we live in a society,
Society,
dude.
dog.
You know, if you think about it, we live in a society.
I mean, I guess it could be.
Shout out Cody and Noel.
Haha. But anyway, but like I guess it could be considered. But like I feel like Joker has different like motives as of what it wants to talk about
Oh, yeah,
because
definitely.
I do think it focuses more heavily on like mental health as
Mm-hmm.
Parasite doesn't particularly. It really
Right.
just focuses on like poor and rich and like how like as I have said, something big happens in the movie, and that the Kim family is like devastated, and like, but then you go to the rich family and
Mm-hmm.
they're having a party,
Mm.
and so like it just kind of like can I would you be mad if I like said like what happened?
If it's not a major spoiler, then I won't be mad.
Dang it.
How about for the sake of my viewing experience, you don't?
Okay, I won't. But like, so like this thing happens, and like it's basically like the rich don't care. Like, and there's
Right,
like,
right,
it's just like whatever. Like they don't care. They're having a party, and
right.
like the son comes over, and like stuff happens, and it's just like the rich don't care about what happened because they're fine, but the Kim family isn't.
Right.
So like, it commentates on like that, and like it definitely there's a part in the movie that like kind of really sets the tone for the movie. That's kind of
Mhm.
where the halfway point is, where that visual
Right.
part happens, where it's
Like a
just kind of
tone
like,
shift.
yeah, like this is what the movie is basically about. It's just
Right.
really like the Kim family talking, and
Mm-hmm.
it's really cool. But
Sweet. So, real
yeah,
quick, just to say it, because I think this is epic. I'm just checking out the IMDb page, and so far, Parasite has made $101 million.
Fantastic, dude.
Yeah, dude,
I'm happy to give them my money.
making that paper, dude. Good stuff.
As I said, it was fun. Like, I mean, it makes you think, but I think Lighthouse makes you think a little more. So I kind of felt like a little better going to this because I was like,
Mhm.
oh man, like this is easy, man. I saw Lighthouse, easy
Mhm.
money. I can see this movie.
Right.
But like, like kind of like with this movie, you can just look at it and like it's kind of like a funny movie slash thriller at the end. Like very crazy what happens.
Mhm.
But like you kind of like see like the progression and like kind of like a plot. But like with me with like Lighthouse, I was just kind of like, what's going on? Like I don't know what's happening. Like
Right. It's very
what
like
is going
non-linear,
on?
kind
It's
of all
very
over.
yeah. But like not to say that those movies are bad or
No,
anything.
no. There's a lot of movies that kind of have a all over the place sort of way of telling a story. Like I'd even go as far to say is like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood
Oh yeah.
is very kind of, I'd call it like a hangout kind of movie
Yeah.
where it's just like people are doing stuff and then eventually as they're doing stuff they kind of all collide at the end. And that's honestly one of my favorites of the year and one of my favorites in general. So
Oh
yeah,
that's
I
fantastic.
really like stuff like that when if it's done well and it's it's good stuff. But with all that being said, I think we should wrap it up and maybe talk about what's coming out this week that we might be able to
Oh
see.
yeah. What is coming out this week?
So
Oh, I
this week,
might see Jojo Rabbit. I do want to see that.
sweet. I want to
I
see
want to
Jojo
see
Rabbit really
Honey
bad.
Boy so bad though.
So yeah, this week, Doctor Sleep, Last Christmas,
Oh
Honey
shoot.
Boy, and Midway all come out. I'll definitely see Doctor Sleep, and I'd love to see Honey Boy, and I'll probably get Brooklyn to go see Last Christmas with me because that looks fun.
Is that with Emily Clark and that one dude?
Yeah, the guy from
Yeah.
Crazy Rich Asians.
Dude, I want to see The Current War. It's
Oh, when
showing
does
it.
that come out?
It's out. It's at my theater.
Oh, oh, I totally had forgotten about that.
Yeah, me too. I saw it. I was like, oh man, that's coming out. I could go
Yeah.
see the Addams Family.
I guess if you
I
want to.
guess. Unless.
Unless. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna see Doctor
Oh, there's
Sleep,
Doctor Sleep. Oh yeah, I gotta go get someone to see Last Christmas. That'll be
and
fun.
I
Wait, there's
will.
only 3
I
movies showing on
really
Friday? What
wanna.
the heck?
I really want to go out of my way to see Honey
No
Boy.
way. No way, dude. There's only no way.
What?
Wait. Oh,
There's
I
only
might
three
have
movies
got.
showing.
There's no way.
My
There's only
my
3
movie
movies.
my movie theater apps don't always update until like
Just said there's
Wednesday.
4 movies. There's no way,
So
dude. Oh
yeah,
well. Wait, what's Midway again? Is that the one with Nick Jonas?
yeah.
Maybe I'll go see that.
I don't know.
I'll definitely
No
see
disrespect to
Last
Nick Jonas or
Christmas.
anyone involved. I'm
Love Nick
not
Jonas.
sure if I'll get to that one.
But dude, I'm so excited for when we come home because there's so many good movies.
When do you like? What day are you going to be home?
Sunday, I think. We're driving.
Sunday.
We're driving back on
Wait, like what
Saturday.
day would? Like this Saturday?
No, the 22nd when classes end.
Oh, right.
So
So how long are you going to be home?
I'll be home a whole week.
Sweet, dude.
You can see all the movies, dude.
Right.
Do you so I'm pretty sure Linwood will have 21 Bridges, right?
Yeah, Yeah, I think that might end up being like a group of us because Brooklyn said she wanted to see really bad. So
I
that'll
think
be
that's
like
gonna be a
cool.
fantastic movie.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. That weekend has 21 Bridges, A
Knives
Beautiful Day in
Out.
the Neighborhood,
Do
Knives
they
Out.
have Knives Out? You think?
Oh yeah, also
The
Queen and
only
Slim.
the o- Do you think they'll have that too? I
I
guess you
think
did
so.
see the
They've been
yeah.
showing trailers for it since like January, I think.
So
So
so great. We don't have to go far.
and then Frozen 2, which they will without a doubt have.
If we have time, we'll see that.
Hmm.
But yeah, sorry about our ramblings, but we're just planning for
Holy
our
crap! This has been an hour and a half long, dude.
the recording has been an hour and 10 minutes. It's fine. People listen to the last one. That was about an hour.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's like, we're keeping up with talking, it's not that bad. When
Yeah.
I'm rambling on like a big dumb person, it's not that good. I swear there's like 10 minutes of me in the last episode where I'm like, well, yeah, so
So
I don't know.
what's the deal with diarrhea?
Oh man.
Get your tickets. No one, Cody, come back to Colorado, please.
I think it's time to call this.
It's time to
done.
stop.
It's time to stop.
Okay.
Wrap it up, Jackson. Wrap it up, boyo.
Okay. Thank you guys for listening. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. We're gonna be starting. We're gonna do Fridays. I did a poll and people said Fridays, so we're gonna switch to Fridays from Monday. So this one will be a little over a week, but that's just because we're switching to Friday.
Right.
Thank you guys for listening. Another thing, I did start a Patreon for
Patreon.
so I only have one rank, and that's just $1. So if you guys want to, if anybody would like to donate, that would be insane.
Seriously, think about how much better and just think about it. If we had money, then we'd have a real reason to stay consistent.
If we had money, we'd have we have 11 cents, so that's pretty good. But anyway, so I have a goal on there. If we get $25 a month, I didn't tell Brandon this, but if we get $25 a month, we'll do a commentary track on a movie. Yeah.
Oh,
I
sweet.
didn't tell you this.
Well, this is news to me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited to be a part of things that I did not plan for.
But if we get 25, we'll do a commentary track. And then if we get more, we'll do something fun. I don't know.
No,
I haven't thought
25 a month and we'll do a commentary track. 50 a month and we'll release the commentary tracks.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah. I'm being sarcastic.
Okay, but anyway, like for real, if you guys do want to give us money for whatever reason, that would be insane. We'd really appreciate it. But and as always, if you do like the episode, please do share it. That would
share it, talk about it, tell your friends about it, spread the word, like the YouTube.
Yes,
put it on all of your
social
media.
Because I will be when me and Brandon get together and we finally go to Chipotle. I will be vlogging Brandon's first time to Chipotle, and you will not want to miss that.
We should. I think it'd be cool if we did like a vlog with these two, maybe at some point, maybe that could be a product of our Patreon. So you got to support to get more content. You dig?
Yeah, dig. Yeah. But anyway, please support us. Leave a like if you're on YouTube. Save us in iTunes, Spotify, wherever you listen on. So you won't miss an episode because we are going to start doing weekly episodes, and I think we will be doing one of those weekly episodes. Might be reviewing an older movie, just
Right.
because I'm a poor college student and Brandon's just poor, so we don't have all the money to.
Oh.
Like,
Oh.
ooh,
No,
darn it.
we're gonna do an episode where there's a battle rap. You're wanting the smoke now. I
Yo, those
feel the
socks are
burn.
trash, though, dude.
I feel the burn, bro.
That was a joke. But anyway, I know I'm poor. I'm sure Brandon is working on it. But we thought it'd be cool to do an older movie since we can't go to the movies every week. So
Right.
yeah, please let us know if you would like that. But yeah, and also if you are on iTunes, it'd be great if you could leave a review, because if you do leave a review, it'll show up more for people, since
Right.
they want good things to show up. So if you do leave a review,
So,
that'd be awesome.
with that being said, though, like Cody Co and Noel did, if you do leave a review, do like the 5-star rating and just kind of say whatever you want, like a random thing that has nothing to do with the actual podcast.
Yeah.
Like, just talk about whatever you'd like to say in the review. I know we keep stealing their jokes, but I think that would be hilarious. So
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's the internet. It's open domain, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, TikTok is stealing people's audio, so why can't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, boy.
Okay, we should wrap up. If you made it this far, thank you so much.
If you made it this far, tweet either me or Jackson your favorite movie about cars.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I better see
Yeah.
Cars in there, like the movie
Yeah.
Cars.
The
If I
movie
see
Cars.
anything else, I'm coming for you.
Coming.
Don't give me Cars 2 or Cars 3. No, give me Cars 1.
Just cars.
Just Cars.
Just
Oh,
cars.
we're talking about cars. I'm really excited for Ford versus Ferrari. That's gonna be a
That
good
looks
movie.
really good.
Sorry,
Looks
that
really
was
good.
really random. But yeah, let us know your favorite movie about cars. If you made it to this long, I doubt anyone will make it to this. But
Yeah, probably not.
we'll see. Okay. I'm all right.
I'm going to head out.
I'm so bad at ending these.
This has been the LG Podcast with Brandon and Jackson. We out of here. You dig?
All right. See you in the next episode.
Bye.